The Mahakumbh is on, and you've seen countless images of the Nagasadhus at the Kumbh, and so many questions loom around them. Where they come from, how they became Nagasadhus. Let's tell you all about these mysterious sadhus. First, the most basic question: who is a Nagasadhu? They are worshippers of Lord Shiva, who believe in becoming Shiva to worship him. Nagasadhus have existed for centuries. Evidence dates back to the Mohenjo-daro civilization. Nagasadhus were also known to have fought off Mughals to protect temples and were armed then with trishuls and talwars, with swords, which is why even today you see many Nagasadhus coming armed to the Kumbh. Nagasadhus essentially renounce all worldly pleasures, so they're celibate, they don't own any material wealth, not even clothes. Nagasadhus can cover their bodies with ash and nothing else. He cannot have a shikha, which is a tuft of hair which Brahmins usually have. He can only keep his hair braided. They eat once a day. They have to sleep on the ground without any material that separates them from the soil. So let's tell you now how a person becomes a Nagasadhu. It's a long process, and interestingly happens during the Kumbh. First, a person becomes a sannyasi by renouncing all worldly attachments, including their parents. And this is done by performing the pinddan to their family and themselves. Pinddan is essentially a ritual performed usually at funerals for departed souls. So with this, the sannyasi establishes that he has no family anymore, and even his own identity as it was previously has perished. Now for about 12 years, the sannyasi then is closely monitored, works actively in the akhada that he's chosen. The akhada head usually decides who will be elevated to become a Naga sannyasi. At the Kumbh, the process is kicked off between the two snans, the Amritsanam on Makar Sankranti and the snan on Mauni Amavasya. First, the sadhu takes the holy dip on Makar Sankranti, and then just before Mauni Amavasya, the initiation begins. A special puja is conducted at midnight in the presence of their gurus. The sannyasis are expected to take 108 dips in the Ganga at midnight in the cold. And after this, half of their braid, which is called the shikha, is cut off. After this, they're sent away from the akhada to a forest to do penance. The other seers then will persuade them to return. On the third day, they return without the clothes. The final stage, essentially, of shedding everything they own. When they return, they meet with the Acharya Mahamandaleshwar of the akhada, essentially the head of the akhada. The Nagasadhu offers water cupped in his hand to the akhada head, and if it's accepted, it means he's formally become a Nagasadhu. On Mauni Amavasya, they are then allowed to take a holy dip with all the other Nagasadhus. Right now, around 12,000 ascetics will be made Nagasadhus in different akhadas. There are also many sannyasis who have begun the journey towards becoming Nagasadhus by tonsuring their head and taking a dip in the Ganga. But they'll have to wait another 12 plus years before becoming Nagasadhus. So now the question everyone asks: where do Nagasadhus reside? We see them come in the thousands for the Kumbh every few years, but there's no real evidence of where they come from. Most Nagasadhus reside in the Himalayas, and they walk all the way to the Kumbh, starting weeks or even months before the Kumbh from the mountains. Some Nagasadhus are known to live in the akhadas, which is based in different parts of the country. At the Kumbh, Nagasadhus are the first ones to take the holy dip during the Amrit Snan. It's a sacred ritual for them, and devotees also throng the Kumbh to take blessings from these Nagasadhus.